way it was. Happened so naturally, I did not know it was love. The next thing I felt was you.
That was my band New Agenda performing a song called Ain't Nobody that was a huge hit record for the singer Shaka Khan. On this video, I want to pay tribute to the Queen of Funk, to Chaka Khan, one of the greatest pop singers in history. All right, and I'm going to sort of explain this from my own personal point of view of why I love Chaka Khan so much, and I'm going to talk about 3 albums. And I'm going to do them in the sort of order that I discovered them and why this singer means so much to me. But if you're a jazz fan, then this video is really going to explain why I think that Chaka Khan is one of the greatest jazz singers of the last 50, 60 years and should go down in history as being one of the great jazz singers. And I'm going to try and show those roots and why this happened. So, back in the early 80s, I was a metal fan. I was a fan of Saxon, Iron Maiden, all those types of blues. And I was exploring music. I discovered Led Zeppelin, I discovered progressive rock, I discovered jazz fusion. I wasn't a pop music fan at all, right? One day, I'm sat there doing my homework, and Top of the Pops, which was the big pop program, was on. And a record had gone to #1 at that time, and it was a record called I Feel For You, which was a song written by Prince that appeared on this album, multi-million selling album of Chaka Khan. This is the album that turned Chaka Khan from being a popular artist to a superstar, right? The iconic opening scratching rap, you know, the Chaka Khan, that is iconic. The Stevie Wonder harmonica solo, right? The song written by Prince. But the thing that blew me away was the vocal on here. This was an astonishing singer that was hitting all these high notes. You know, all the things you associate with great singers. Chaka Khan does that. But she does it in a way which sounds effortless, right? She can go straight up and hit high notes, and it never sounds like she's in there in some weak falsetto, right? And there's a lot of people that think that Chaka Khan only sings in a chest voice. This is not the case. Chaka Khan sings in head and chest voice, and she's a virtuoso of moving between the two, right? But when you listen to I Feel For You, which is a big pop song, listen to some of those notes she's hearing and the way she floats between these things. And as Chaka Khan's career developed, which I am going to get into on this video, her voice is so virtuoso in the early days, but she moves more and more to this, which I think vocal teachers call the horn voice, that cutting sound. By the time she makes this album, I Feel For You, that sound is at its peak. It's the equivalent of distortion on guitar. It's that thing that makes the sound cutting and sustaining. And I absolutely love that sound. So I was like, oh my God, there's this singer and I love this. And I was like bemused. And I turned around to my mom and said, oh, this is really good. I might get this album. And she was shocked. She was like, well, I didn't think you'd like this. I didn't think I'd like this. So, and I didn't really want to go and buy it. You know, at that time I was still a bit of a rocker and I wasn't going to buy an album that looked like that, right? So, in the early 80s, we had a TV show called The Tube, and this was around about 1985. And Chaka Khan was on The Tube, and she comes on and she did a song, which was a song from her Rufus days. She was in a funk band in the early 70s called Rufus. And the song is called I'm a Woman, I'm a Backbone, right? When I saw her performing this, it was unbelievable. And that towards the end, the band just shot up in some sort of insane rock fusion-esque, and these guitar solos step forward. I know the one guy that does the first guitar solo was Snuffy Walden, and then the other guy steps forward, plays a guitar with his teeth. The band's absolutely tight. And I was like, what is this? It's that singer that did the pop song. This is the video. I've really had to research to find the clip that I wanted, so the quality is not great, but this is the video that I saw in 1985 that made me an instant Chaka Khan fan. Right, so hopefully all you fusion fans and jazz fans who didn't really want to see this video, no about Shaka Khan, you could see that this woman is something else. So I then went and bought this album. Now this album for me is a very important album. At the time, not only was it a brilliant example of Chaka Khan's incredible singing, but it was also state-of-the-art in terms of production. It was produced by Arif Mardin, who is perhaps the greatest vocal producer of all time. We have the greatest vocal producer with perhaps the greatest pop singer of all time, but she's not a pop singer, that's the thing. So let's go back and have a look at who Chaka Khan really is. So Chaka Khan was born in 1953. She came from a sort of very bohemian household. Her dad was into, I think they were artists, and they were into all sorts of music. Chaka Khan was brought up listening to jazz, right? Now the big thing about Chaka Khan is she did not come through the gospel route. People think she did, but she didn't. She was a Catholic, she wasn't part of the Baptist church. She did sing in church, but she sang stuff that was much more classical based, Gregorian chant based, right? So she hasn't got the grounding gospel music. Her grounding musically is in jazz. She's from a very musical family. Brother is a producer and a singer. Her sister is Taka Boom, who is also an artist that's done a load of disco sort of dance music over the years. So she's from a musical family. Chaka Khan is just a natural singer, right? This isn't learned. She has a talent that very few people have, right? As soon as she starts singing, it's almost like the doors start opening. She runs away from home when she's 17 years old. She makes her way to Chicago. And in Chicago, there's a sort of rock band, almost like country-like rock band called Rufus. And I think they had a singer called Paulette McWilliams. They were a white band. Back then, they were all white band with a black female singer. And Paulette McWilliams, who's friends with Chaka Khan, is really creating a storm with this band. And that magical thing of this sort of country rock band with this black soulful singer that looks incredible is really making Rufus one of the local sort of, bands on the scene at that time. Paulette leaves to have a solo career, and she does. She's still around. So Chaka Khan is drafted in to that band. As soon as Chaka Khan joins Rufus, they just sign a deal, and then within a few years they're selling millions of records. Now that tune that you saw is called I'm a Woman, and it's actually off this album, right? And this is the next album that I went and bought. You see now, Chaka's voice, her on-stage performance, her clothes, she would wear like sort of back then sort of Native American garb, big headdress. She used to show a lot of midriff, incredible, she's just mind-blowing. I don't think there's anybody quite like it. Tina Turner perhaps. Chaka Khan is her own thing. She just takes Rufus and propels them and changes their sound. She changes their sound from this sort of country. If you did the first album, it's sort of rockish, almost like country music in places. Rufus become one of the great funk bands, right? So Chaka Khan is a singer that is working in the 70s right in the funk world. And in the funk world, if you think of Earth, Wind and Fire, or we think of the Ohio Players or Parliament Funkadelic, there's very few funk bands that actually have a virtuoso screaming singer like Chaka Khan. These albums are mind-blowing. If you're a funk fan, check out the Rufus albums. On the first album, or I think they did a cover version of a Stevie Wonder song. And when they're recording the second album, Stevie Wonder was brought down in the studio and actually ends up writing a song with Chaka Khan, which is recorded on the second album, Rags to Rufus, and that becomes their big hit. And then by the time they get to the third album, which is the one I showed you, there's the big single off this one is called Once You Get Started. Now, when I was teaching in the old days, and we used to have a singer come in, Sometimes you have a singer come in, they're absolutely amazing. You know, like when you watch X Factor, singer gets up and you go, oh, they sound really amazing. I used to have the once you get started test, which was basically, oh, she's really good. Let's just have a list of once you get started by Shaka Khan. And then you listen to that and you go, yeah, she's okay, really. It's not like that though, is it? It just centers you. This is the level of Shaka Khan, right? So I think in 77, 78, she signs a solo deal. She starts to have some hits. She has a hit with I'm Every Woman. She's a big hit. Ain't Nobody. But the vocal technique of Chaka Khan is astonishing. In 1982, the year before she makes I Feel For You, she does an album which is called Shaka. It might be called Shaka Khan, I'm not too sure, but I think it's called Shaka. And on there's a tune called Bebop Medley. Now, Bebop Medley is basically a medley of a whole ton of bebop tunes, mainly Charlie Parker tunes. It opens up with Hot House, and it ends with Giant Steps. Shaka Khan is doing everything on this. She is singing these incredible harmonies. She's vocalizing bebop lines. She's scat singing over Giant Steps. She is like creating these sort of vocal like worlds, and she's hitting ridiculous high notes. The Bebop Medley by Shaka Khan could well be the greatest performance by a pop singer on a pop record ever. She won a Grammy for this performance, right? The thing is, Shaka Khan is not a pop singer. She's a great jazz singer. And we come to the last album I want to discuss. So it is this album that came out the same year that she made Bebop Melody, and it's called Echoes of an Era. And if you're a jazz fan, that's what you wait for this video to get to. So this album came out in 1982 on Elektra Records, and the lineup is, believe it or not, Shaka Khan on vocals, Freddie Hubbard on flugelhorn and trumpet, Joe Henderson on tenor saxophone, Chick Corea on piano, Stanley Clarke on acoustic bass, and Lenny White on drums. We've got 3/4 of Return to Forever with two of the greatest solos of the last 60 years, which is Joe Henderson and Freddie Hubbard, and fronting this is Shaka Khan. There she is. I hope my camera can focus on that. I'll probably just, this is my posh camera, because it's Shaka. I've got the posh camera and I've got the posh microphone. That's how much, you know, I don't normally reserve it, I only reserve this for special occasions. So Echoes of an Era. This is an album of jazz standards. Them Their Eyes, All of Me, I Mean You, I Love You Porgy, Take the 8 Train, that's side one. Then I Hear the Music, High Wire the Aerialist, which I believe is that's a Chick Corea tune, isn't it? And then you've got another version of All of Me, and then Spring Can Really Hang You Up the Most. On this, she proves that she is one of the great jazz singers of all time. She has the chops, she has the ability to. If this isn't like, oh, she's a pop singer that can sing jazz. We're not talking about that. We are talking about someone who is absolutely in their element. They are one of the greatest with their own vocal sound, their own vocal tone, their own way of phrasing. In 1982, when this album came out and Bebop Medley came out, the great Betty Carter turned around and said, Shaka Khan is one of the great jazz singers. This is a virtuoso display. This is really the point I wanted to make on this video, right? This band also made this album here, the Griffith Park Collection, without Shaka Khan on it. And this is all originals, but is still in a much more sort of conservative post-hard bop jazz sound. Now, I want to make this point here, because this here, 1982, this is an interesting year, because this is the year Wynton Marsalis emerged. And on this channel, I have often pointed to Wynton Marsalis as being the beginning of that conservatism, that turning back to old jazz as a way of approaching. And Jason Marsalis made the point that this was already happening. Right, Herbie Hancock had done it with VSOP, and here with the Griffith Park Collection and this album with Shaka Khan, we see mainstream fusion musicians and we see a mainstream pop singer also returning to original jazz. How many musicians, you know, from Rod Stewart to Robbie Williams, you know, all these people who have tried to make this album, this is where Shaka did it first. She did it back here with the Echoes of an Era album. And so I just wanted to make the point that I am conceding the fact here on this video that it wasn't just Winter Marsalis and the Young Lions that came in. This was happening anyway. And Echoes of an Era is a major label with a major pop artist, and they're putting money into an album like this. It's very interesting that that was going on the same year that Winter Marsalis' first solo album came out in 1982. It's very interesting, isn't it? Right, so at the top of this video, you saw my band New Agenda, which is my covers band. I'm in a variety of bands, and I am in a covers band, and they're a fantastic band. And I really wanted to play a tribute to Shaka Khan on here and play some music. I thought I really wanted to show how much I love these songs. So you saw a little bit at the top of the video, but I'm going to end this video with a performance by New Agenda of the song Ain't No Body. We're not trying to be Shaka Khan. I'm not trying to do whatever, you know. This is just us playing this song because we love it and we love Shaka. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. And if you want to hear some more videos or see some more videos like this, please ring the notification bell. If you want to support me on Patreon, the link is down below. And also I put a link into my cover band New Agenda's new Facebook page. We've only just formed. And so if you could pop across and put a like on there, that would be absolutely fantastic. So here is my band New Agenda with the legendary John Jowett on bass from IQ and Frost, and my good old mate Rob Groker on keyboards and vocals. And Rob also recorded and produced this and produced the video. And it's not just an iPhone in the room. We went and did this properly for Shaka because we love Shaka. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.
Captured first me better, makes me happy, makes me feel this way. Ain't nobody loves me better than you.
Ain't nobody loves me better.
Ain't nobody loves me better, makes me happy,